Hi everyone, Nick Creticos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and today you're watching me on Home Talk, where you have a very interesting project planned for you today, and that involves creating a buffalo plaid burlap themed wreath. So we're going to be using lots of this burlap that we picked up from Walmart. It's going to take about a roll and a half, and the rolls are about $3.30 each. You're also going to need a red burlap. You can pick this up from Hobby Lobby. It's $7, and it goes 50% off every other week. So I've cut 36 pieces of the brown. We have 10 pieces to cut on camera so I can show you guys how to do it. And then we're going to need 18 pieces of the red, and I cut them 10 inches long. So for starters, we're going to need our burlap. Like I said before, this came from Walmart. And they carry this year-round, so if you want to make this wreath at any time of the year, they carry it. And this is one of my favorite style of wreaths to create. This is one of the most popular ones that we've done. Lots of people love the look of burlap. It's very modern, and people really like it. So I'm just going to use my rotary cutter. We will have links in a material list posted for you. So if you are interested in creating this project, we do have links where you can purchase them directly through Amazon. So I'm just going to quickly cut 10 of these. Like I said, you're going to need 36 of them, and then 18 of the red. So I'm just cutting it at the 18 mark and the 8-inch mark, which makes it 10 inches long. The reason I'm cutting it opposite today is because on my rotary cutter mat, what happens is there's a little hole from when they hang it, and I am left-handed, so it kind of makes it a little bit more easier to cut it past that. So as you guys come in, let me know where you're watching from. I always love to see where everybody's from. I think it's fascinating that me and my sister Alex, who's recording for me today, so be sure to say hi to Alex. I think it's fascinating that we have people from all around the world watching us in my studio create a wreath.
Hi everyone.
Okay, I don't know how many I just cut of that, but let's move on to the red. The red's only going to take one roll, so I recommend 2 rolls of the regular burlap and then 1 roll of the red. We're also going to deal with some ornaments that we picked up from Hobby Lobby, a little bit of ribbon, some burlap colored pipe cleaners, and a dollar store frame. You guys know that I love using materials that are inexpensive, so you can purchase a wreath frame from the dollar store for only $1, which is a great value. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach our pipe cleaners to our wreath. This is the size wreath frame you can pick up from the dollar store for $1. It's a 14-inch frame. And what you'll notice is that there's 6 individual sections with a cross piece. We're going to place 3 pipe cleaners in each of the sections. So in total, we're going to need 18 pipe cleaners. You can pick up a pack from Michael's for 97 cents for 25 pipe cleaners. So you're going to have some extra. But I do recommend picking up a beige color or whatever color your burlap is. Reason being, it helps it blend a little bit more. So what I'm doing is I'm attaching it in the middle brace, attaching it to both wires. And we're doing that for all of the 6 sections. So you could definitely purchase a pre-made frame. We've used those on Home Talk as well as Nick's Seasonal Decor many times. I find it easier to work with those pre-made frames, but of course they cost more money. So for this frame, it's only going to cost us about $2, less than $2 to create. So I placed one in the inner 2 rings. Now we're going to come on either side of that one and place it on the outer 2 rings. So in total, each section is going to have 3 pipe cleaners, and there's 6 sections total, so 18 total pipe cleaners. So by a show of likes, who has made a wreath before, or who has felt inspired to create a wreath after watching these videos, let us know. And if you do like seeing this content and want to see more videos of us demonstrating how to create a wreath, let us know as well. By sharing this video, it helps us reach as many people as possible, and you guys know we love to inspire as many people as we possibly can. All right, almost there, you guys. 2 sections left. So this might take a couple minutes to make, but I do recommend making sure to twist it around 2 metal frames. So now we're going to add our last pipe cleaner. So in total, we have 18 on this wreath. And now what we can do is begin constructing our wreath. So I've cut pieces of burlap. This is 5.5-inch wide burlap, and we need 3 pieces for each section. So I'm going to take one and just gather it together to create a little bow tie. Now we'll come back in with the red, gather together. And if you only wanted to use two, by all means, you certainly can. I like my wreaths to be a little bit thicker, and I don't want to be able to see the metal frame when we finish it. So I'm going to place 3 of them side by side, just like that. And we can ruffle them out and make sure that the red's showing a little bit more afterwards, just like that. But in all actuality, I like having the color to be a little less prominent than the burlap. So if you do decide to replicate this, you certainly can do all red or all burlap. But if you do want to have a fun color for Christmas time or for fall or whatever holiday or season you're decorating for, I do recommend placing just one of the colors rather than have all 3 of it being the same. So we're going to each twist and placing a cluster of 3. And we're just going to repeat that until all of the pipe cleaners have 3 pieces in them. So if you wanted to just cut one color, you could just cut 54 pieces, which sounds like a lot, and it actually is a lot, but I think it creates a really full wreath, and you can create this wreath for less than $10, you guys. Less than $10 to have a beautiful wreath for your front door, for a gift, for a friend, for a neighbor. And like I said, we'll pull out the red a little bit more afterwards, but let's get to adding more of this mesh. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to comment them down below. We will be live in the group answering any questions you may have in the comment section. I'll be live for a half hour once this video posts. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them for you guys right there and then. So I'm just working around the outside frame at this point. Doesn't matter where you start or where you finish, as long as every single pipe cleaner gets some mesh, or burlap in this case.
What if you wanted to mix match? So you did 2 burlap for one, and then the next tie you did 2 red and 1 burlap?
Yeah, you certainly can. For this particular wreath, I only wanted to place 1 red, but you certainly can. We've done fall designs using orange mesh, kind of a mustard yellow, as well as a brown, and it turned out to be really nice. It kind of looked like fall leaves. But you certainly can do that. Or if you mess up like what I just did right here, gathering up the red first, it doesn't make a difference as long as you come back in with some of this plain burlap. So you can do all 3 different colors. You could do 2 different colors like we're doing today, or you can just do a solid burlap one like we've done in the past. It's truly up to you. The only thing I can recommend is it being consistent. So if you do have a pattern, stick with that pattern throughout the entire wreath, and you'll get a beautiful wreath in the end. Okay, another red one. And if you have any ideas as to what you'd like to see for this upcoming holiday season, let me know in the comments section. We take all of your suggestions into consideration. We love to hear your feedback. So if you do like these videos and want to see more of them, let us know. It helps us to choose what we create and demonstrate. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about bows, so if you're interested in kind of like tree toppers, that's definitely something we could do. But this is one of my first wreaths that I've ever created. And it was actually, I think, my very first design on Home Talk. So this is definitely a wreath that we've done many of, and the more you make them, the easier it is. But this wreath is incredibly easy to create, if we're going to be honest. It's very simple. It takes minimal product, and it's very inexpensive. Like I said, you can create this design for less than $10. Traditionally, what I would use is a grapevine wreath, an 18-inch grapevine wreath, but I have found this way is a little bit cheaper, and it creates a smaller wreath. So if you don't need an extra large wreath, this is cheaper.
Are you just doing the outside pipe cleaners right now?
Yep, so I'm just working around the outside so I don't miss any. But like I said, you can skip them. You can come to whatever's closest to your hand. Doesn't make a difference as long as every single pipe cleaner gets 3 pieces of mesh. And I do recommend you use 3 or else you can see through the metal frame. If you were doing this on a grapevine wreath like we've done in the past, you certainly can just do 2 and have a little bit of grapevine showing through, which is very nice for a rustic themed wreath and a natural wreath. But today I don't want the wire showing through, so that's why we're using 3 pieces. Okay, one more piece around the perimeter, and then we could add some towards the interior, add some embellishments, some ornaments, some decorations, and a beautiful bow. So Alex, if you were to do this wreath, which you very easily could, what color combination would you like the best, just for a year-round wreath for yourself?
I would probably stick with the traditional burlap, and then for the middle color, I don't know, I'm thinking like a blue could be fun
Yeah,
for
definitely.
the summers, and then maybe like a burnt orange for fall. I like the red for Christmas idea. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
really
think the
pretty.
reds. You could also take out the Christmas decorations and place kind of a heart for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Or for the 4th of July, you could do plain burlap with red and blue. Or you could just do blue for beach wreaths like we've done in the past with some sea stars and seashells and stuff like that. I think the best way to create this is just using solid burlap. And you could use it year round. You could just place the picks and decorations just inside and not attach them for your own home. And then change them out with each season. You could do hydrangeas for spring and summer. You could do fall leaves and fall flowers for fall. You could do poinsettias for Christmas time. You know, really the sky is the limit when designing these kinds of wreaths.
And it's nice because I feel like burlap comes in every color possible.
It does. It really does. So Walmart, I think, only has the brown. They might have a few other colors in their wedding aisle. But you could always go to Hobby Lobby. They have black and orange for Halloween. They have every color imaginable. And if you can't find any in-store, like I said, we do have a link that you can purchase them from in case you want to do that. So now we can finish up adding a few more towards the inside. So I'm going to take one of the beige, one of the red, and another one of these beiges, and place them side by side just like this, just gathering them together in my fingers. And moving on towards the wreath now, we can place that again in between each of these pipe cleaners. What do you guys think so far? So we added one beige, now we're going to add another red. And another beige, or natural. So now we have one left. And now what we can do is we can go throughout and kind of stretch out any of the red that's not showing enough for us. So I'm just going to pull them forward. So now what we can do is start cutting off all of our pipe cleaners. I personally don't like to have them show in my wreaths, so I just twist them and make sure that they're well twisted down below so that they don't become loose. And then I'm just snipping them off with some of these. These will also be in the material list if you're interested in these. So as I was adding them, I was making sure to twist them a couple of times. But what do you think, Alex? Should you like these colors together?
Yeah, I do. I think they're very festive.
Okay. We got a couple left. And our last one. So now what we can do is start decorating this, or we could leave it as is. I think this is very pretty all on its own. And give some hearts if you guys like this, and especially of the simplicity of it. But of course, we're going to spruce it up a little bit with a bow So today we're going to be using a 1.5-inch buffalo plaid, as well as a 1.5-inch solid burlap. So both of these are wired ribbons, and it is important to have wire in your ribbon for it to hold its shape. So I'm just going to gather both of them together and start creating loops. You can make your bow as big or as small as you'd like, with as many loops as you want. Keep in mind, the more loops you have, the bigger the bow is going to be. So if you don't necessarily want to add a huge bow, don't make them too long. So pinch and twist.
Does it matter which ribbon is on the top for the bows?
So that's a great question. With this kind of bow, it doesn't make a difference because we are going to separate the loops. So I'm going to create a couple more loops. We have one there. And now what we can do is snip it off. So we have 3 sets of 3 ribbons each. And now what I'll do is I'll take a little length of this ribbon so we can have some tails and place it behind the bow. So I'm just going to take this bit of ribbon and place it behind my bow, take a pipe cleaner, and make sure it's twisted together. You, of course, could just do 1 ribbon if you wanted to, but today we use 2, and we'll come back to the wreath. Make sure we secure it to the wire and not just the burlap. Do you like buffalo plaid, Alex?
I do. I like it on my flannels.
On her flannels. You mean my flannels that you steal. So now we're just going to separate our loops. Trying to disperse the colors evenly just by pulling them apart. And this technique works if you're using wired ribbon. And we have one final loop to open up. Pull our tails down. And here we have a pretty bow. Give some hearts if you guys like this bow. Using 2 different ribbons to kind of go with the theme we're going with, which is buffalo plaid. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some decorative picks and ornaments. For starters, we have these awesome buffalo plaid magnolia flowers. So for these, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim the stems short. These came from a company that sells online called Trends and Gems. I highly recommend them. They have great picks like this. So now I'll move over to my glue skillet and just place the end of my stem inside the glue, swirling it around, and then we can come back to our wreath and hot glue them in place. You, of course, could wire these in if you wanted to take the extra step, but typically hot glue will keep them in place. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So we've added 2 of those. Now we can come back in with some more decorations. We have some of these that came from Hobby Lobby. Remove the tags, and simply place those in my glue skillet as well. So now we're going to add a couple more. We'll place one behind the bow.
Are you trying to only focus your decorations on one side rather than the whole wreath?
Exactly. So this is going to be a wreath where we're going to leave this side open. So if somebody wanted to place a monogram or a house number or whatever they decide they want to add, they can add to the other side, or they can just keep it plain like this. The choice is up to them. So now we have one more piece on a second pick, which I'll just place above the bow. Right here. So now we've added some of those. We can come back in with some of these buffalo plaid ornaments. And like I said, if buffalo plaid's not your thing, feel free to choose whatever color you want. So I placed two there. We have one more, and I'll just place that on this side. And there we have it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hang this on my easel. And again, if you have any questions at all, keep in mind I will be in the comment section answering any questions you may have live. So feel free to drop a comment in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. So I want to thank you guys for watching me today on Home Talk. My name is Nick Predicos of Nick's Seasonal Decor. And as always, I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye.